Hey guys, what's going on? I'm basically bringing you a rebirth of the channel. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different going forward. So hopefully this is your kind of thing. But if you are a follower from a previous iteration and this isn't your kind of thing, then I completely understand. However, this is what I'm going to be doing going forward. So this is obviously just a football manager simulation. This is a straightforward one. I've just gone 10 years into the future for this one. The actual simulation has gone way further than that at this point. But I've just gone and opened up the 10-year save. This is the first video. I'm going to be doing 10 years, 25 years, 50 years, and 100 years into the future. If my computer is still simulating seasons at a decent pace at 100 years, I may do a further one after that. But that's sort of a conditional one at this point. So this first one's going to be 10 years. I'm going to race through as much of this as I can, quickly as possible. I don't want this to be a hefty old video. I'm going to be doing, just to let you know, this is the top 4 English leagues, and then the top 4 of the top 2 leagues of the other main European competitions: Spain, France, Germany, and Italy. I'm just going to race through those real quickly. I'm just going to look at their top winners and not really go into too much detail with those. But if there is something you specifically want me to have a look at and you don't think I've had a look at so far, by all means, put that in the request below in a comment, and I will have a look at that on the 25-year video at the very least. I could just have a quick look at the 10-year one if it's something important as a quick follow-up. I'm looking to do the 10-year one in just one video. The 25-year one, may want to have a look at a few more things, and I might split it into 2 parts just so it's not one big, long video. But 10 years I should be able to race through real quickly. You can see from this, there's only one spoiler on this page. It's probably the best page to open up on because it doesn't tell me anything other than the fact that the winner in 2029 and who they are. I'm going to race through the Premier League. I'm going to have it on the stages review for the Premier League on the stages review for Premier League. I'm going to race through it as quickly as possible. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but we'll see how this goes. So, stages. Stages. There we are. Current season, we'll go back to 2018-19. See how much. This is probably I'm going to spend the longest probably on this first season, just to see how it compares to the actual first season in real life. Because this is this 2018-19 season we're currently towards the very end of, and you can see City have beaten Arsenal by 3 points. Tottenham, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. So it's not too far off. It looks like it's just got Arsenal and Liverpool the wrong way around. It is worth mentioning this is based off the January engine, the database, rather than the start of the season database. I didn't realise that after I started, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in charge, as per all my other saves that I've done since January. So I just realised, oh, I didn't switch it back, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. Probably slightly more accurate, for honest. Going forward, it might be when Newcastle done a little bit better because they've got players like Almiron in the team, most likely, who have helped them do a much better season than they have in real life. However, the bottom 3 are fairly normal. Fulham, Huddersfield, Cardiff. I think it's probably likely what's going to happen in real life. I think Cardiff are down there, if not 18th already. But the top 6 are pretty much as they are. Just Arsenal and Liverpool running around. Brighton in 7th is a bit of a surprise as well. Wolves in 17th, there was a bit of a surprise. Probably swap those over and it's a little bit more accurate. Swap Newcastle and Everton is a bit more accurate. And swap Leicester and Burnley is probably fairly spot on otherwise. I think Southampton might be the one in 18th. I don't know who's there. I should look before I did this. But there's not a great deal of surprise other than really Brighton being 7th and Wolves being 17th. But we're just going to flick through the other seasons as quickly as possible this but right now. I don't want to spend too long. City winning again. 10 points away from Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea. Top 6 unchanged. Bottom 3, I can see Norwich have joined the party. Crystal Palace going down, Leicester going down, QPR come up and go down, Stoke have turned up as well by the looks of it. But yeah, nice. Quick mention right now, my football teams I support are Newcastle. That's my team. No real story behind that. It just got to about 9 years old and I wasn't really supporting a team at that point, and I kept being asked, so I just said Newcastle because my friend supports Newcastle. One of my friends supported Newcastle, and they weren't like a very still aren't. No, I said weren't aren't really a glory supporting team. I couldn't be accused of glory supporting. That's why I chose Newcastle. Really, I chose a friend's team to support, and I chose one that wasn't supporting a team that were winning things. So Newcastle's my team. Norwich is my family's team. My mum's from Norwich. Personally, I grew up in Lincolnshire, so Lincoln's my team. I might have a quick nosy at Lincoln at the end of this. Go with it. But I can see Norwich there joining the fun, but QPR, Leicester. Looks like QPR got promoted, which is a bit surprising because I know they're not doing very well in the Championship this year. But Norwich are winning it, so this isn't actually that surprising at this point. Man United in year 3, 2020-21. At this point, Man United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Top 6 unchanged. Watford in 7th. Southampton in 8th, doing a lot better. Wolves resurgence up into 9th. That's a bit more like it. Norwich in 16th. Who was 7th in the previous year, by the way? Bournemouth. Who was 17th? What if that's a European thing, by the way? Bournemouth go from 7th to 17th. That's a thing you see in Football Manager quite a lot. When a team who is not prepared for you're not really prepared for Europe ends up in Europe, they have a massive drop in performance. Would not be surprised if Eddie Howe. And that's the thing as well with managers in Football Manager. If they do poorly in the league, that's what really affects their sackability, basically. Even if they do well in Europe, if they don't do well in the league, then they get sacked. But Bournemouth in 7th, 3 points from being relegated, even though they maybe were in Europe. I won't have a look now. I don't want to get too distracted. But Norwich surviving again. Middlesbrough here, Nottingham Forest there as well, and Cardiff rejoin and get relegated. By the looks of things. Man United winning the top from 14 points from City. Top 6 unchanged, Chelsea in 4th this time. Man United top again the following year, 6 points clear. Chelsea in 4th again. This is sort of turning into a top 3 and a top 4 to 6 at this point. Watford again in 7th. Were those two the same last year? Yeah, they were. 7th and 8th, unchanged. Everything else behind has changed a little bit. Huddersfield are back. Fulham are back. Norwich have been relegated. And West Brom are back and gone again. Pretty much. Sorry, I'm going a little bit too fast maybe, but at this point. Yeah, nothing really surprising here. Norwich, 3 years in the Premier League. I'll take it. Probably got a nice bit of money from that, if I'm honest. Man United win again. 3 years in a row, though it's getting tighter. 3 points away. Tottenham in 4th this time. Like I say, it was sort of like a top 3. Although this is a little bit closer this year, apart from Arsenal. Then Newcastle a bit further back. Newcastle in 7th. Watford down in 12th. Maybe a European thing. Again, might be worth paying attention to Newcastle next year. See how that European. Maybe they got European because obviously 7th sometimes 7th sometimes gets Euro Cup because of one of these 6 winning major cups. Swansea have returned and have been relegated. Leicester have returned as well at this point as well. Worth mentioning. Huddersfield doing quite well. I'm currently based in Yorkshire, by the way, so it's nice. I like to see Yorkshire teams doing fairly well in general. I kind of have like 4 facets of my supporting right now. Man United win for 4 years in a row. 1 point this time, and that gap's getting closer every single time. But this is spread out into a top 3 and 4 to 6 again. Watford 1 point off 6th. Huddersfield 4 points off 6th place. Amazing. Now I said pay attention to Newcastle. 17th. Definitely the European effect. I think that's the first time they got into Europe, and I don't think their squad was prepared for it. But as soon as you get into Europe, then that's when players start coming into it. So I would not be surprised. Newcastle surviving this year if they start getting good players in again. QPR are back again. Crystal Palace relegated and West Brom back again and relegated. Yeah. Liverpool have usurped Man United for the first time in 5 years. That dominance of 4 years is broken. Chelsea in 4th this time. Top 3 unchanged though. 4 to 6 still doing their thing. Newcastle in 8th, so it looks like they've rebounded from that 17th position. And Everton down in 17th this time. Who was 7th last time? Watford. So it looks like there's a bit of stability in 7th, or maybe the 7th didn't get Europe. Maybe someone outside the top 6 won that European place through the cup instead. It's hard to tell. Maybe it was Everton. A little bit weird seeing Everton down there. Huddersfield over. Maybe it was Huddersfield actually, because they were doing quite well. Fulham, Stoke in the relegation spots. I think Fulham rejoined there. I think Swansea might have rejoined that year as well, but they weren't in the season. However, moving on. I'm going to pay attention to Newcastle well now because obviously they're my team and I want to see them 7th. They've stuck around this sort of 7th and 8th with Watford and Newcastle being West Ham not doing well. Everton have rebounded. Maybe they did. Maybe they were the European. They were way low last season. Southampton have dropped way off. Southampton were doing well and they nearly got right. Norwich returned for a season. Bournemouth relegated. I mean, it probably happens at some point in most saves, but Bournemouth relegated took them 7 more years from now for them to be relegated, if my maths is correct. Yeah, I think they've been in the Premier League for about 2 or 3 seasons at this point already. So about 10 years in total in the top flight. Relegated. Swansea relegated. I think they were 5 last season. I think Palace, there might be a return for Palace as well. Yeah, it is. They got relegated the season before last. Middlesbrough. Well, Norwich being the 3rd promoted team. Yeah, but yeah, Man City winning that one, by the way. Liverpool, Man United, top 3 unchanged still. Although Chelsea are a lot closer. Wow, that's actually a lot closer. 13 points between 4th and 6th. Big deal. Tottenham in 2026-27, breaking that top 3 of United, City and Liverpool for the first time in this simulation. That's a change. Watford in 6th. West Ham in 7th. Chelsea down in 8th. 56 points. 5 points off being 6th. That is quite bad from Chelsea. Newcastle not far back from that point there, and Southampton sort of coming back, and this sort of middle block of Southampton, Everton, Leicester, Wolves, Burnley have sort of held firm pretty much. Huddersfield have returned though. Brighton have been relegated. Palace have been relegated. Stoke again. Cardiff have returned. Chelsea, however, bounced back from that horrible 56 points with a 95-point season. Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, and United down in 5th. That's the first time one of those teams that have been sort of stuck in that top 3 for a while. That Liverpool, Man City, Man United thing have actually been out of the top 4 entirely. And then Newcastle in 6th, which means Arsenal are the ones to have lost out there of the general top 6. So Newcastle in Europe again. This is probably going to do them well in their reputation putting players. So things are looking good for my team, Newcastle there. Huddersfield in 17th, surviving another year. Swansea back and surviving. Swansea weren't there previously. Yeah, Swansea are back and survive. Cardiff have survived another year. Welsh representative here in the top flight. Leeds have returned up and Leicester have been relegated. Bournemouth have returned and been relegated there as well. Was Middlesbrough? Middlesbrough have been there for a little while again now. We've actually got a North East derby going on in top flight again for the first time in a while. Nice to see after Sunderlanding. And then finally, 2018-2019, Chelsea win again, as we saw from the top bar here. But yeah, Man United in 2nd once again. Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City. That top 6 returning, but Man City being the one in 6th this time. Newcastle just outside, pushing it quite closely as well. So it looks like it might have turned into a top 7. It might be well worth paying attention to that. Newcastle maybe bringing in some good players to contest that top 6 position quite regularly now. Norwich returned again for a season. Watford have been relegated after doing really well for a really long time. See, they're 7th in that previous season. They've been sort of 7th and 6th in the previous season before that. Probably a good chance of having Europe 2 years in a row there if one of the top 6 have won the Europe. But Swansea have gone out, so the Welsh derby has been lost from the Premier League at this point. Nottingham Forest, though, have turned up again in the top flight. Nice to see Forest in the top flight, if I'm honest. There's a lot of teams that were in the top flight I like to see back in the top flight. In my childhood, so teams like Forest, Leeds, Bradford, Portsmouth, of course, teams of yesteryear, teams that have been in Premier League back in the day. Blackburn, of course, Aston Villa, not that long ago even for Aston Villa. Sort of a lot of heritage teams from when I was growing up that since lost their way and dropped down the league. It's nice to see them back in the top flight. Nottingham Forest haven't gone too far, obviously Bradford and Portsmouth being the ones that sort of dropped furthest in that time. However, we'll just have a quick nosy at the other top 4 flights in 2020-19 to see if there's any major surprises. Just need to ping it back one season. Bournemouth have been promoted, Leicester, West Brom, so we'll see them in the 2029-30 season. Hello. Lincoln got into the Championship at some point and have been relegated, but they got into the Championship at some point. That's Forest Green in the Championship. Otherwise, looks fairly standard if we're honest. But Lincoln and Forest Green, of course, in the 2018-29 season, both of those are in the League 2. Lincoln look like they're going to be promoted, however. Forest Green, I don't think might be somewhere near the top, but I think they might be playoff at best at this point. I'm not entirely certain, but some are close at the very least. I know Lincoln Forest Green games are actually fairly good games and for the most part. But nice to see Lincoln up there. Sometimes in these saves, Lincoln either do really well or really badly in these future saves. I think they benefited quite well in FM19 Lincoln by Danny Cowley's improvement as a manager in Football Manager. You often see them do well. They often see them get promoted in the first season, then Danny Cowley get poached. Actually, I'll have a quick nosy at that. See if that's happened here. Danny Cowley left manager role, so yeah, he's been poached by another club. I'd be curious to see where he went to actually. No, I can't. Interesting. Placed by Harry Kewell though. Don't know who poached him because he doesn't have a page. But anyway, we'll have a quick nosy at. I've seen Norwich yo-yo in between championship, whatever. So we'll have a look at them. We'll have a quick look at the other top 5 leagues. We'll start with League 1 in France because that's usually not really that interesting. So I'll get that out of the way first because it's usually the top 3 sticking around as always. AS Monaco, PSG, PSG winning 8 of the 10 seasons. Lyon and Monaco breaking that. I mean, you look at those top 3 for the past 10 years, there's not a lot of variation there at all. 4 years of identical in the middle here. 3 years of identical at the start, and 4 years identical here. PSG, Monaco, Olympic. In fact, they've just swapped over. 7 years. No, it's the same here again. 8 of the 10 years have exactly the same top 3. Olympic Marseille just breaking that in the last 2 years. That is. We'll just have a quick look at the last season. We'll just have a quick look at the last season, maybe. See if there's anything interesting that happened last season. See if there's any stories we may want to pay attention going forward. Angers SEO. That maybe well worth seeing if they do well, because they look like they've got Champions League football this season, or at least well, that is there. So it looks like like France have the same situation as England. Champions League football for Angers SEO, maybe. They're not usually there. It's usually Lille or something like that in the top 6. Maybe worth paying attention to that going forward. Or not Nice, a fairly decent side. Wrong time zone. My French knowledge isn't particularly good. But we'll just go to Spain. They're just called Spanish versus Division. I don't think there's anything fancy going on with them. This actually has the last season still on here. Bilbao, maybe the biggest surprise here. Real San Sebastian, Villarreal and Valencia in the sort of top end isn't that surprising. Premier League has taken top spot instantly at some point. The last 3 years took top spot in 2026. Tenerife, maybe, I'm not sure. I like to see Tenerife. Canary Islands was a family hotspot growing up, so nice to see Tenerife. I'm always tempted to do a save as a Canary Island. Maybe not even Tenerife, like one of the low ones, like a Gran Canaria or Lanzarote. Trying to get them in the top end if there's databases that have them in, because I'm not sure how far down the other Canary Islands are in the league structure for Spain. But I'm always tempted to do one and save for them. Pay attention to them. Maybe pay attention to them going forward. It's sort of one of my overseas clubs, Tenerife and Hanover, sort of the ones I sort of pay attention to, just history abroad. Yeah, nothing else really interesting there. Let's have a look at the past winners. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Atletico. Atletico actually won 5 of the last 10. That's actually in itself a little bit of a turn up. And there or thereabouts for all the other seasons. Actually, they've been top 3 all 10 seasons, as far as I can tell there. At first glance, Valencia is the only break into those 3 sides in 10 years. That is actually a little bit sad otherwise. Bundesliga. We will just have a quick nosy at the last season. Borussia Dortmund. See if there's any surprises in this top league. No, really. Köln in 7th. Don't think they normally do that well, maybe. Wolfsburg and Hanover in top league. Nice to see both of those. Hanover, like I said, are one of the ones that did German exchanges to a Hanover school in my youth, so I always pay attention to Hanover a little bit abroad. Wolfsburg also had a day out at Wolfsburg during those trips as well, the Auto Museum. So both of those I like to pay attention to, because Hanover, I think, dropped out at some point. Wolfsburg are the other one. Also, they're called Wolfsburg. So, Augsburg, maybe, I'm not sure. I think Augsburg is one of those ones that always turns up with like Eintracht for Nuremberg and Frankfurt. I think there might be a team that's disappeared. That's usually up here at this point. But top 6, not really. Unsurprising. Hoffenheim, Hertha Berlin, usually in that top 6 maybe as well. This over Stuttgart. It's usually 6 of 9, really, that top bit, isn't it? Dortmund winning by 11 points is probably the big surprise there. Bayern in 3rd. We'll have a quick nosy at the past winners. Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, and then 7 years of Bayern Munich. Wow. That is depressing. Like I say, Hertha Berlin, Hoffenheim, Gladbach. Yeah, it's not really much. Like, the teams that are in this top 3 are surprising. There's a little bit more variety than the Spanish or French league, just because it's a little bit more competitive, that top 7. But yeah, a little bit more variety here. A lot of seasons where Borussia Dortmund don't even feature, actually. 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd there, but not even here in it for these 4 seasons. And then they win it for 2 years in a row. So Bayer Leverkusen have 4 years in 2nd, and then win it, and then disappear again. So yeah, a little bit more interesting. And then we'll just go to Serie A. Okay, and just have a quick look at the stages. Go back 1 season to the 28-29 season. Juventus winning Inter, Lazio, Milan, Palermo. I think that's a bit of a turn up. Roma, Sampdoria, maybe a little bit of a turn up here. Genoa, Atalanta, Fiorentina, all ahead of the likes of Napoli and Udinese. I think they're normally a little bit further up, those 2 guys. Nicely Spell there in the top league. I think Palermo might be a little bit of a surprise there. Let's have a look at the past winners. Juventus, Juventus. And then Milan's sharing the other ones with another Juventus in between and at the start. So yeah, 6. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 7. I've accidentally simmed 11 years here. 7 of the 11 being Juventus, and then the other 4 being the AC Milans. But yeah, we're 10 years into the future. Because yeah, I've actually simmed 11 years, haven't I? Because 1 year and then 10 years. I've simmed 11 years, but we're 10 years into the future in 2029 right now. Inter, Lazio, Roma breaking into that top 3 there. Otherwise, it's kind of nice to see a bit of a return to form for Lazio after being out of it for quite a long while. Third there back in that time, and third back here as well. Lazio were. I always remember Lazio being a fairly prominent club in my youth, but that being said, Lazio there, Lazio here. They weren't that. They weren't actually maybe as big as I thought they were growing up. A lot more Roma in those sort of childhood years, rolling down here. Obviously, the Milans were quite big teams in my youth, in my school years. But Juventus dominance in recent years has kind of put a stop to that. Roma and Napoli. That's why Napoli is a bit of a surprise being down in 11th, because they've done fairly well in recent years. Roma done fairly well in recent years. They've sort of disappeared and then returned here. Napoli only appearing there. That's Serie A. We'll have a quick look at the Champions League for the past 10 years, just because it means if for any reason it'll just make it quicker in the future ones, just so I don't need to run through as many. Inter, City, Liverpool, City, Barcelona, Bayern, United, Atletico Madrid winning a Champions League as well. Nice to see that. City and Chelsea. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 11 Champions Leagues are won by English teams, and it looks like even if they don't win it, they are second for the most part. Madrid, Man United, Bayern, Barcelona that didn't do it there. Barcelona, Liverpool, Man City, Madrid, Liverpool, Barcelona, Inter, Man City. Yeah, so it was only 1 year where it wasn't even in the final. Good to see that, really. Good to see Europe 2023. Let's see if they won anything in Euro Cup. And United, I can see, have won that, though. So it looks like a Cardiff Met Uni, the best place preliminary round. I always love to see this. Gibraltar as well in these first rounds. History passports, that's what we're looking at. Man United, Lazio. That's a very old school matchup there. Arsenal runners up 3 years in a row. That is very Arsenal. Dortmund won it a couple of times. Chelsea won it there. Man United won it back there as well. It looks like Arsenal won it as well at some point. All Spanish final here. Bilbao and Sevilla. Man United Shakhtar. That's a good turnout for Shakhtar, really. Hertha Berlin, a good win for Hertha Berlin here. 4 German winners in a row, actually, looking at that. Borussia Dortmund being Juventus in a Euro Cup final. That's pretty good. Final right there. But yeah, that's that. Maybe have a quick nosy at the actual Euros. And where's Euro? Looks like France won the most recent one, but there's only going to be a few of these. Spain, France, Italy, Portugal, Italy. Really that interesting Euros. And then the World Cup. I'm just sort of doing these now just so I don't have to go through as many in the 25E one, which I realize is taking one, but AO. Only 2 of these, and they both won by Portugal. Spain and Argentina in 2022 in the Qatar one, and then this North American one, it's Portugal, Denmark, Romania. What? I'm actually going to have a look at this because, oh god, it's gone into that 3. Oh my god, it's gone into that situation by 2030. Stages. How do I work this out? We will go second round, and that's a lot of second rounds. I wasn't paying attention. Tree. Let's do tree for the second round. Denmark beat Holland, Switzerland, Colombia. Not a bad win there, and New Zealand from that round onwards. Don't know who's in their group, and then Romania beat. Romania lost to Portugal in the semi-final, but then beat presumably Holland in the third place playoff. Pretty good going on that part. Then they beat Iran to get there, and they beat Mexico to get here, and they beat Belgium in the round of. Oh, it's not 16 anymore, is it? Round of 32, I suppose. That's round of 16. Oh, I suppose that is still round of 16. Oh yeah, round of 32, round of 16, whatever. Same thing. Anyway, so England went out to Italy. That one. I might just have a quick nosy at the all groups to see where they came from. See if there were any talents in their groups. Denmark, Ivory Coast, Saudi Arabia, not really. And where's Romania? Argentina, Romania, Australia? Not really. Looks like they drew with Argentina, though, to get through. That's probably a turn up in its own right. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'll probably leave it there, though. I don't want to go too in-depth in this first one, because it's only 10 years. If you want me to have a look at anything in particular in the next episode, let me know. Put it in the comments below. Hope you enjoy this. Next time we'll pick this up in 2044, if my math's right. 25 years into our current future. 2044, yep. See how things turn out then. Like I said, this has, or I've actually simulated way past 10 years at this point. I've actually simulated through to 2061. I've had to pause it just to record this video so my computer doesn't blow up. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm just going to tease one thing going forward. There's an interesting thing I caught on the news feed just before I posted. One of those things with Football Manager is just check on it to see where we are just before I post it to make this video. I saw something on the news feed that I maybe shouldn't have, and it was very interesting. Not English. That's the only clue I'm going to say. It's not related to the English leagues. There's something interesting there. Maybe worth investigating. Maybe it's happened by 25 years, but it's definitely happened by 2061 at the very least. So that might be something for the 2050 video. But just a little teaser. There is definitely something changing in Europe. I've seen these videos done before, and sometimes they like ignore Europe. So the European influence in like the Champions League is unchanged. Maybe not so much in this one. That's my tease for the next 25 video. I just saw one little newsfeed item that was very interesting. So maybe that's happened by 2044, sorry. Maybe it hasn't. We'll find out in the next video. But until then, my name's I've been amazing too. You've been amazing too. Fluff that. It's been far too long. Until next time. Ciao.